Ready to go on a hike? Let's go. Okay, here we are. Welcome to Castle Rock State Park. Now, I'm not sure where I'm going. This is actually a new parking structure. So I haven't been here before. I've been to Castle Rock, but not this new structure. Looks like we have easy, moderate, strenuous. Let's see, that's 9 miles. I don't have that much time, 3 to 4.5 hours. And oh, you can walk to the ocean. Check that out. Skyline to sea. It's only 28 miles and I need 2 to 3 days backpacking. Don't think we're doing that one today. like these trees are gonna fall over. But they have strong roots. So just like us, we have strong roots. Then even when things are tricky, we're able to stay up. Danger, sheer cliff, stay back. Hey everyone, how are you doing? Check out this view here. What do you think? Yeah, it's been a few years, or maybe several years since I've been here. It's been a long time, so it's really good to be back. I always think it's important to get out in nature once in a while. If you can, once a week, a few times a month, whatever you can do. You know, teaching Zen is very, very difficult because whatever you say about it, it's not it. And also people who have a lot of understanding can always argue your point or argue the teaching, right? For example, sometimes we teach as a technique to look inside yourself. So instead of looking outside yourself, look inside yourself to understand your true self, to realize this original enlightened nature. So people will say, well, in Zen, or in our original nature, there's no inside and outside. So you could see, it doesn't matter what you say. Or you can say that, yeah, there's no inside and outside. There's no good and bad, right and wrong. Then people say, well, then how can you be a human being, right? So I always say there's attachment to words and speech, using words and speech. All the different kinds of teaching are pointing to something. And the reason why it's hard to talk about, because this something is before thinking, right? Our original enlightened nature is before thinking. So that's really important because a lot of people have attachment to understanding. Many people understand about Zen, about Buddhism, but it's only understanding. They don't have any actual experience of it. I actually talk about this in my book when Zen Master Sungsong was teaching students in the early days in America. He would sometimes talk about kimchi. Now at that time, not that many people have had kimchi. These days, almost everybody's had kimchi, right? So he would explain what kimchi was, right? You take some cabbage, Napa cabbage, you chop it up, you put a lot of salt in it to draw out the moisture, then you mix it with a hot pepper paste, and you can add, if you want, other vegetables to it. But the most important part is you put it in a jar, put on the lid, and let it ferment. You can let it ferment to 3 to 5 days. I've had 3-year-old kimchi, but let's say 3 to 5 days. Then when the kimchi is ready, you unscrew the lid, and it has a very strong smell when it's been fermented, right? Some people don't like the smell. I've heard some say that it smells like dirty socks or something like that. But when you taste it, it's a different experience. It's very crunchy, it's very alive, it's very spicy. So Zen Master Sungsong would say, now you understand a little bit about kimchi, right? You understand it. If you want, you can go to the library. These days we have Google, right? So you can Google kimchi and learn about the different types of kimchi, the way different cultures ferment it and process it. But eventually, you have a strong understanding about kimchi. Maybe you know more about kimchi than anybody else. But have you attained it? So when Zen Master Sungsong would ask people, have you attained it? They would all like, no. He said, so how do you attain it? Go to the Korean market, buy some kimchi, unscrew the lid, take some kimchi out, put it in your mouth, and then poof. The understanding and the experience become one. And this is very, very important. This is why in Zen, we do koan practice, to actually have experience of this mind before thinking. This experience of our original enlightened nature, this true self, right? Then we're not attached to our thinking or our emotions, right? So usually we're attached to our thinking and we follow our understanding and thinking around. But when we wake up to our original nature, our thinking becomes clear. Then we can use it. So it's not about attachment to thinking. It's not about no thinking. It's how to use your thinking from moment to moment. There's a koan we use in our tradition called everyday mind is the true way. So Zen Master Joju was a student at the time. He eventually became a great Zen master. But his teacher was Zen Master Namchang. Joju goes to his teacher Namchang and asks, what is the true way? Namchang replied, everyday mind is the true way. Then Joju said, then should I keep it or should I not? And Namchang replied, if you keep it, you're already mistaken. And Joju said, if I don't seek it or keep it, then how can I understand the true way? Namchang said, the true way is not dependent on understanding or not understanding. Understanding is illusion, not understanding is blankness. If you completely attain the true way of not thinking, that means letting go of thinking, then everything is clear like space. Then Namchang said to Joju, so why do you make right and wrong? And Joju had an awakening, an experience before thinking. It's not about attachment to thinking or no thinking. It's clear thinking, right? Buddhism is about the middle way. So in order to not be attached to our thinking, we must experience the mind before thinking. Then we can use everything clearly in our lives. So my question would be to you, everyday mind is the true way. What does this mean? So without explaining it and giving a sutra lecture or a Zen speech, what is it in this moment? Let me know down in the comments. Okay, everyone, thank you for joining me on this hike, and I will see you soon. Speaking of Joju, a monk asked Joju, for a long time, I've heard about the stone bridge of Joju, but now that I've come here, I just see a simple log bridge. Joju said, you only see the log bridge, you don't see the stone bridge. The monk asked, what is the stone bridge? Joju replied, it lets asses cross, it lets horses cross. So question for you, am I the ass or the horse?